Welcome to the Kentucky Postgame Show. My name is Braxton. I'm filling in for Fletch this morning. To my right, I have the amazing hosts Mario and Malik. Please like and subscribe to this.
Like and subscribe. Make sure y'all do that, man. Make sure you like and subscribe. We need it.
Support. All right, so unfortunately, this postgame show is after a loss. It's like UNCW took a win over Kentucky.
Yeah.
How we feel about it, guys? How we feel about it?
Surprised, man. Especially after that Miami win. I'm very surprised.
Man, coming off a big win and to just going to this upset loss, I guess this is just part of the roller coasters that come with the season.
And, of course, it's to a team that we obviously felt like we should have won against.
Yeah.
But we got a lot to talk about, fellas. We got an exciting show. We got some highlights for you guys. Let's go ahead and watch them.
Kentucky versus UNC Wilmington, Reed Shepherd. I don't know if you guys noticed, they got that new court. They got a whole new court for this game going forward for the rest of the season.
No, I love it. This game, it was coming out a very exciting game. We know that Aaron Bradshaw, we're going to see some Aaron Bradshaw highlights in this game. Man. And like we talked about just last episode, getting the big man back, we wanted to see UK come out with a little energy. Yeah. They started a little slow.
A little slow for sure. I don't know if it's a thing of Kentucky's team where they just always start out slow, but I was waiting for them to just burst out with energy and make a run throughout the game, but it just never really happened. They never really made that big run. And there's Aaron Bradshaw getting his first college buckets.
Mad hype too.
Very hype, man.
I think this is what we talk about, just those slow starts that been killing UK all year. Yep. And it's only a matter of time when you're playing from behind that you're, not going to be able to, flip the switch and come back and win that game.
Right there, we had a little bit of Trezarian White. He's coming off the bench for UNC Wilmington as well, so it's kind of crazy to see him come off the bench and score 27 points.
Man, 27 off the bench, man. I know they do that platoon squad, but, man, still coming off the bench and putting up that much. There he is again, getting that putback rebound where we kind of let that defensive rebound go through our hands, man.
They look very, very comfortable, unfortunately, against us, too, with it being their first ranked win in program history.
I don't know if you guys knew, but Coach Cal, he was back in his playing days, he came from UNC Wilmington. He played for UNC Wilmington. So it's kind of ironic to see UNC Wilmington beat him in Rupp Arena. Crazy
fun fact about that as well. He transferred there. So he was a little bit in the transfer portal himself. So
crazy story, man. UNC Wilmington
first ranked road win in program history.
First win in program history. Got the win 80-73. Kentucky took a loss in a huge upset that shocked the college basketball world. Let's get into some analysis.
All right, guys. Tough L that we took to UNC Wilmington. What do you think led to the loss that we had that day?
I would love to point out the slow start. Like I said, just them slow starts is definitely what kills the team, and just having to play from behind. But, and like we talked about earlier, shout out to, UNC Wilmington playing hard coming into the game, obviously playing against a ranked opponent, and they're a really good team, Obviously, they just proved that right there. But I think just the shooting woes to that game. Everyone having a very tough night, from, just really the top down. I really want to point out Justin Edwards. He had a really tough night, shooting 4 for 14. And Rob Dillingham couldn't get much to go, shooting 1 from 9. Oh, yeah. And it made it, the game a little tougher when, guys just couldn't get baskets go in, and I think maybe they potentially probably feel like they were missing DJ Wagner in this one.
No, for sure. But I know why we lost, man. I know exactly what it was. You want to know what it was?
What was it, man?
It was the court. It was the new court, man. It was the new court. They got to switch it back, man. Bring back the old court with the Rupp Arena sticker on it, the big blue Rupp Arena sticker. That's why we lost.
I like that new court though. I like that new court. I didn't really, you know what's crazy? I didn't like the blue Rep Arena sticker.
You didn't like the Super Bowl?
Hey, we can't even put the blame on that because the first year they incorporated that was the year most losing year.
It was the COVID year. No, the year after the COVID year.
Yeah.
They had
Went
the
off
mask
the COVID,
on.
yeah.
That was tough. Don't bring me back to that. I don't even want to think about that.
So we can't blame that. You know?
I'm not going to blame it. But yeah, this is the time of the year across college basketball where ranked teams often get beat. If you look at just this week, I have the stat. You got Purdue, number 1 team, they lost against Northwestern.
Tough.
Number 3 team, Marquette, they lost to Wisconsin. Duke lost to Arkansas and Georgia Tech. Texas A&M, number 14th ranked team, lost to University of Virginia. So it happens. It does happen. That's no excuse.
I think I'm gonna counter argue that.
You gonna counter
argue that? I think when you just talked about some well-respected programs there that they took losses to other well-respected programs.
That's true.
You know, when you say that Duke lost to Arkansas, we're talking about tournament teams.
Yep.
UNC Wilmington, not saying they can't be a tournament team by the end of the season, but currently this is a team that, you know, UK is expected to walk on. This is supposed to get Aaron Bradshaw going. This is supposed to get everybody continue the momentum.
I agree with you.
It's actually a backtrack.
I agree with you, but my argument is that, yes, you know, it happens where teams do get often beat around this time of the year, but that is no excuse for what happened last night. I give you that. It's no excuse. I mean, this team literally looked like the opposite of what we're accustomed to watching. You know, they weren't moving the ball side to side. These guys were just ISO balling. Turnovers had another key problem in this game. I don't know if it was them trying to, you know, incorporate Bradshaw. I know we had a few turnovers where we tried to force it into Bradshaw, and Bradshaw just didn't have a good position. But yeah, turnovers. The ball's not moving as we know. Kentucky's known to move the ball and play at a fast tempo. They didn't have that last night. I think that was the problem why we lost. A lot of turnovers, and then a big thing is defense. I can't tell you how many times, you know, we tried to, you know, pull a run in, tried to get a run for the Kentucky team, but we couldn't because we couldn't get stops. Mm-hmm. You know, there's plenty of times where I'm screaming at my TV and I'm like, we need to stop here. Like this is a pivotal moment in the game. We need to stop here, and we don't get a stop. And you know, Wilmington just keeps giving us easy buckets, easy floaters in the lane. You know, they shot amazing from the field. You know, we didn't have our best shooting night. So I pretty much say we did the opposite. We played in the opposite role than we usually play. We didn't look like the Kentucky team that we're accustomed to seeing.
Definitely. And UNC Wilmington looked very, very comfortable with the basketball throughout the entire game. They looked like a very, very experienced team, in which they are. Most of their team is seniors, graduate students, and juniors. Like we said earlier,
yep.
Trae White with 27 off the bench. Their bench scored 46 points to our 5. We can never win any basketball game when a bench is scoring 46 against us and we're only scoring 5 against them.
Absolutely.
No way we can see that. No way we can see wins with that. Of course, Reed Shepherd had a good game like usual. Yep. Got to give shouts to the Kentucky kid right there.
Yeah.
But anytime that another team looks very, very comfortable against us, it usually spells trouble.
Yeah.
So with that being said, are we concerned yet? Like, is there any cause for concern, even though we did lose to a very much unranked team and we're number 12? We're supposed to step all over them. This is supposed to be a trial run game. Like you said, we're supposed to get Aaron Bradshaw rolling. We're supposed to be getting just some experience, keep getting the guys' feet wet. Is there any cause for concern this early in the season?
No. Too early. I think this happens when you have a very young team, a freshman team, and another thing that we kind of skipped over is DJ Wagner.
Yes.
You know, we know how important he is to this team. We kind of get to see and notice that, you know, this team was actually missing DJ Wagner. Just his presence, him being able to get down into the lane and letting that defense kind of shrink in. That definitely hurt us in a way. You know, I think DJ Wagner, we definitely missed him out there tonight in terms of taking care of the ball and just controlling that pace of the game. But I'm not too concerned about, you know, what will be in the tournament. It's still early. Like I said, Twani Beckham, who we just had on, he said, you know, let's see what this team looks like on the road, and they're about to play their first road game. So I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm. I think I think for them same reasons that you just pointed out, there is reasons for slight concern. Like we said, we're talking about, these were home W's prior before. This was a home loss. We're not talking about a road loss. This is a home loss and an out-of-conference home loss. Like we said, the schedule is only going to get harder. You want to build wins. You want to, before, taking them losses so you could get them takeaways, and you want to go into this and look at this like, it's a young team, very young. We know this. And you have to knock these things, nip them in the bud now because, when you're young, these problems can build and continue. And like we said, these shooting games, you're going to have games with shooting woes, and you got to be able to have answers. And Kentucky didn't have many answers yesterday. So that's really a thing of concern. I'm not saying necessarily tournament time. We're a long way from there. But, like I said, these are things I would say are issues of concern that Kentucky has to look into and address.
Yeah. So you did say something that I want to piggyback off of, and that's nipping things in the bud early. So Cal did make a comment during practice one day, and he said that the team still suffers from making high school mistakes, and we saw plenty of those high school mistakes come through. The pace of the game sometimes does get away from them, and sometimes they just can't catch up, and they just don't know what to do, and that just comes with playing the college game. That just comes with playing at the next level. But when you have a team that's also on a hot streak shooting wise, and they're more experienced, you gotta. It's like as a leader and as a coach, you kind of got to step in and just be like, hey, guys, look, pull the reins back in. Look, guys, we're okay. Everything's going to be all right. We just need to make a couple key adjustments, and then we're going to have this game going forward. We did see a couple of those key adjustments play in because they did cut a lead down in the first half from 14, but we just couldn't carry that into the second half. But all in all, I don't think this is really cause for concern. There is maybe a slight concern that's going forward, but all in all, I don't think that this is much cause for concern. The team is very young. They're very, very talented. Let's not take that away from them. Once we get DJ back and once we get these 7-footers implemented into the roster, we got Big Z coming. Yeah. Of course, we got Aaron Bradshaw coming
ladies
back.
and gentlemen, do we have Big Z coming? I don't know.
Man, listen.
I don't know. I hope so. But yeah.
Listen,
Go to your point.
He's in the he's in the States. That's a positive. Like, hey, we got him here.
They got him on the roster. I guess it counts.
He's here. He's in blue. We announced him at Big Blue Madness. Like, hey, he's here.
He's
here.
Ennis Cantor, possibly.
Look, we can't have that again. We can't have no Ennis Cantor.
Shaden Sharp, possibly.
That one hurts.
We've seen it. It's been there, done that. But like I said, it's all those things. It can be nipped in the bud. It can be, things that, you want to see change. Like we said, these slow starts is also a crucial thing. This is reasons why we didn't see them, even in the exhibition games, have to play from behind and try to get things going. They have to understand that, they have to, get the ball rolling from the jump.
For sure.
From beginning to tip, come with the right energy.
Lastly, and for teams that usually play that run and gun style, we saw Wilmington put up 31 3-pointers in this game alone. Yeah. So for teams that are very efficient in the run and gun style, they're definitely going to see this as an advantage against Kentucky's youth. So they're going to be like, all right, look, they're a little slow at the beginning. We can get up our shots early. We can get up plenty of them as well. So
let's make a run.
Yeah, we can get ahead, get a jump on them early, and maybe get that lead and keep them out of the game for the entire game. So we'll see. We'll see Cal and the Wildcats make some adjustments later on. But right now, their youth is showing. Their youth is showing.
Just control the game.
And that leads into the next question very, very fluidly. What is one thing that Kentucky must improve on going forward in order for us to have a wonderful season that we think we're going to have?
Less turnovers. You can't have,
sure,
that many turnovers in games like these, especially games like these. And defense, man. Defense, guards got to be able to stay in front. I hate to stress it, but there's plenty of times where I was watching and I said we need a stop at this moment in the game, and we couldn't. Mm-hmm. We couldn't get a stop. That scares me a little bit because I know Wilmington's a good team, but they're not Alabama, they're not Tennessee, they're not Arkansas, they're not North Carolina. So I'm a little bit concerned. I'm also a little bit confused as well. It's because the team that I saw against Miami, somehow they got stops,
Man.
when they needed to get stops. And, obviously we shot the ball amazingly well against Miami, but I think defense is something that we got to improve on, especially from the guards' perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like I say, it's just those key things that, I really want to point out, like I said, just something that's not on the stat sheet. Like I said, just controlling the game. They gotta learn that. That's the concern. All those things we just spoke about earlier, what Braxton was talking about, just in terms of the tempo, coming with energy, turnovers. These are all mental things. These are mental mistakes they have to learn. And this is part of controlling the game. These are what even veteran, older teams do. They don't make the simple mistakes. They have low turnovers.
Fouling is another thing. We got a lot of guards who are in foul trouble, just making like stupid errant fouls that are like, come on, like we don't need that.
Or even better, those are mistakes championship teams don't do.
Don't make.
They don't make these mistakes, and when we're holding Kentucky to those standards, every year, unfortunately, if you attend Kentucky, that's the standards every year. You're expected to compete for a national championship. These are things that people expect, for the whole team, not just individual players.
Yep. Some things that I feel like we need to improve moving forward. It's really just getting the guys that experience just playing. Like, I don't think it's really anything that we can do right now. Simply for the fact that, of course, they're a very young team, very talented. Like we said, just controlling the game, staying out of foul trouble. Rob Dillingham had 4 fouls, almost fouled out of the game as a guard.
This is not his first time doing that. I love Rob Dillingham. I love the way he plays. I'm a huge
Kansas
fan. Might be my favorite player on the team, but the fouls, this is not an issue that it has been going on and on. We've been seeing him just making these fouls, getting in foul trouble. You can't have that.
Man, like on the offensive end, Rob is a man amongst boys. Like, he makes everybody look like they just can't play defense. They look like Bambi out there. That's why his Instagram name is Rob with the shifts. Like, we see what his ability is like. We know what he can do. And on the offensive end, we've always been one of those teams that's kind of thrived on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, we got to lock in. We got to stay present. We got to make sure that our guys understand that offense sells tickets, but defense wins games.
For sure.
Unfortunately, we couldn't have him on the show, but we do have some post-game comments from Trey Mitchell. Let's pull that tape up.
See what we got.
And a lot of teams in college know these guys. How do you think they respond to this?
I feel bad for whoever we got next. Short and sweet. I don't think these dudes are not going to take this lightly. I think that whoever we got next better come with everything they got, because these dudes feel like they got something to make up for. It's as simple as that.
All right, guys. We just heard Trey Mitchell's comments post-game. What do we think about that?
I like it, but I kind of don't like it. I like it because I like the mindset is that, it seems like they are not happy with the results and that they're looking forward to the next game. The only thing I don't like about it is that I just hope, when it comes to tournament time, and, we play a team similar to Wilmington in that first or second round, or Sweet 16, we run into a team very similar to them. There won't be a next time.
Right.
It'll be over. So that's where I'm kind of like, I like it, but then I don't like it. So, but it's still early in the season.
We have been known for one and dones these past couple seasons,
in
a good way and in a bad way. So we'll see about it.
I'm gonna take his word and watch. They have Penn, a team that they're gonna be expected to, impose their will and dominate. So we're gonna watch, and if his words hold true, then we should be in for a game that should have us very excited for the rest of the season.
Energy should definitely be high, especially with Penn being an Ivy League team. Ivy League teams usually aren't high up there on the tier list, but they always carry experience with them, being that most of their guys are juniors and seniors as well. Ivy League schools always bring that to the table, experience every time. So, yeah, I do think that we should definitely take this game, but I definitely wanted to see Trey Mitchell's comments come to fruition. I always love the saying, keep that same energy, so let's keep that same energy throughout the whole season.
I like that, man.
All right, so, yep. essentially that's the show. Kentucky's gonna travel to play against Penn, the Penn Quakers, on December 9th at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Like and subscribe, man. We need it. Like and subscribe. We'll be back again after Penn, that Penn game. Hopefully they get. It's gonna be a blowout or a 30-point win. I don't know. According to Trey Mitchell, I'm just messing. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see about it.
We just get the dub.
We'll see about it.
That's a wrap.